300 grams of mince. You can use more, less, depending on what you like. The more meaty it is, the better. So I'll brown the meat with the onions, and then we'll go on to the next step. At this stage where we have just a tiny bit of colour, I add a tablespoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper to the mix. And then you keep mixing it around until it fully browns off. Now that it's cooked off, just not brown enough, I add 1 red capsicum. You can leave this out, but this will down and be part of the mix. So we do need to brown everything, including the capsicum itself, before we start adding the liquid. Now that this has somewhat browned, and this is a stage where we add a tablespoon of the tomato paste. And then what we do is, with the Worcestershire sauce, we just go around and have roughly 3 tablespoons worth of the Worcestershire. Mix it up. And it needs to still cook off and actually thicken the sauce slightly. So what we do here is we add water. So now I'm adding it about 2 centimeters above the mix. One to 2 centimeters worth. So get it to the level, so then it just thickens up. So you'll cook this off on high heat for about 15 to 20 minutes. It could take a bit longer depending on your stove, so we'll just wait for it to thicken up. After about 20 minutes, it does thicken up. You can cook it off for another 10 minutes if you like, or the mix will be a lot softer. But keep in mind, it will go in the oven and it will cook for a lot longer in the oven. So at this stage, you don't need to cook it a lot more unless you actually want to. So what I will do is I'd turn it off and start assembling, but before you do, add a tablespoon of sugar and mix it in to thicken up the mix and just sweeten it up a little bit. I now add the meaty mixture to the bottom of any baking tray that you like. Can go into a baking dish, it's entirely up to you. But I put in all the mixture, including some of the liquid, not all of it. It will thicken up more and it will be taken on by the actual mash on top. This is the whole mix that was in the pot. So you start to then put dollops of the mash along the top of the shepherd's pie, and then it's ready to go into the oven. This is now ready to place in a preheated oven at 250 degrees Celsius, and you put it in until the potato on top starts to brown. So it will bubble up, it will drink up a bit of the potato, but once it's brown, it's ready to be served.